Traveling back in time to kill the Connor family just wasn't enough. So last year, Terminator traveled into the Mortal Kombat universe to bust some skulls there as well. Terminator offers a kit heavy with command grabs, futuristic weaponry, and the kind of brutal persistence you'd expect from the unstoppable killer cyborg. Despite that, you'd be hard-pressed to find a pro set where Terminator is used. Perhaps it's because of his unfavorable matchup against the game's prominent zoner archetype, but Terminator simply hasn't been a popular pick. There is, however, one player whose unwavering faith in Terminator has helped him push the character to its absolute limits. Whether it's building devastating combo sequences or concocting vicious resets, the NRS-veteran Dab is everyone's main resource for Terminator sauce. And now, with MK11 Ultimate allowing custom variations, he can't be reasoned with. He can't be bargained with. He doesn't feel pity or remorse or fear, and he absolutely will not stop. Ever. What's up, y'all? KRCPinto here. Today I'm hanging out with Dab. This man is a Terminator specialist. He might as well be Arnold himself. He knows everything about this character. Dab, how you doing today, man?
Hey man, thanks for having me on. I'm doing all right. I'm doing good tonight. Thanks for asking. How about yourself? How you doing?
Doing great, dude. Ready to see you tear it up with one of my favorite horror movie icons of all time. I'm so stoked on this episode. Love this character, and you make him look good, dude. You're one of the only people who rocks this character, and you make him look good. Look at he's fit. Man. Look at that jog.
Look at the jog. Look at him. He's running.
Love it, dude.
Only thing I can think of is the T1000 chase music when I see this run.
Oh, you got it.
Right? Oh man, there's something about it. Yeah, man. Thanks. I mean, there's some Terminator players out there, but I feel like I really, I don't know. Maybe I just put him on the map, with some of my, initial videos and whatever that I've been a part on. I don't know. But yeah, man, there's just something about this character that, I mean, he's one of your favorite horror icons, and action icons and whatever the case may be. And it's same for me as well. I mean, I look up to Arnold, in a way, and as an idol in a way. This guy came from another country, inspired by Reg Park, another guy who come here, do the muscle and the lifting. He did acting, and he wanted to do that stuff as well, and he ended up doing it, and he surpassed, became a governor, and like, look at the man, like he's the true epitome of the American dream. There he is.
Well, that's definitely the most passionate you'll ever hear anyone about a Mortal Kombat character, and it's not even close. So, dude, I got some questions for you about how you make this character work and how you play him, and let's just dive right in if you're ready.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm down.
So, Dab, in the current version of MK11, Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate, custom variations have become a thing. You are allowed to choose your moves, build your variations out, and I feel like that has changed a lot. So what variation do you run for Terminator right now, and why do you choose the moves that you choose?
Yes, definitely a big meta shift with having all these new custom moves unlockable and all actually playable. Yeah, I still stick with I have it named as Who's Your Daddy and What Does He Do. I have it still as that. Just because it's still Dark Fate. It's just cool that I get to name it, but it's still the Dark Fate. I feel like the Dark Fate build with the I'll Be Backbreaker, with the Crushing Blow and the Run and the Air Grab is probably the best tools that you can add for the character to have, so he can be the most dangerous, because he is the best character up close. However, there are still characters that really beat the crap out of him, like Cetrion, Fujin, the characters that can really keep him away, Raiden, things like that. God, even Jade, Sindel, right? So that's when I started experimenting with, which, as you can see, I have it named as the Last Action Hero, Jack Slater, all the way. Adding the teleport in and swapping the air grab with the teleport, so where I can have more mobility and not have to worry about having to get in and worrying about the range and things and whatnot like that, because now I have access to mobility. So it kind of helps me out, especially when characters are keeping me out and then they're running away, then I got to chase them across the other screen. So those are his two best things to have. If you don't have the command grab or the run, then there might be something wrong with you. But then again, if you're just playing for fun, I'm not going to judge nobody. I mean, and I still don't judge nobody. whatever, gets your boots off. I'm with it. I'm for it.
Let's talk about your personal preferences for the character. So, what is your favorite special move of Terminator's and why?
God, I think my favorite move probably is the air grab, just because of the restand capabilities that it has. For an example, I can hit someone with a down 2, crushing blow, right? And then I can air grab, if I can. The air grab, and there it is. Instead I have another bar, I restand her. Now she's restood for 37%, 380 damage to a plus 16 move, where I can do overhead, I can do low, or I can do command grab, or I can strike again if they want to jump. So I think that's probably my favorite move, is just to have that air grab. And it does have a lot of property over other moves too, so I really do like that as well. If she does that, I can catch her out of the grab, as you can see, and I can just do something like that, and just, you know what I mean? There it is. That's probably my favorite move, I want to say. But this is probably his best move in the neutral, because you can't really react to it. You have to, premeditate it, kind of like Street Fighter, throwing out normals and stuff, checking you. Probably his best one, which I do probably favor a little bit more than the air grab, but the air grab is probably the coolest.
I did not know you could get a link off of his down 2 KB with the air grab. That's wild.
Well, you know what? Pre-patch, they actually did a silent buff on that. They actually took off the recovery from the down 2 on hit. So now it's significantly easier to get the grab. Before it was really tight, but now it's easier to get it.
So, what is your favorite string of his and why? I know this character's got a lot of cool strings. Saw you use a couple when we played earlier. What's your go-to string?
My go-to string is probably 1-2-1. Probably the best one to do. I mean, people say he doesn't have footsies or neutral or whatever the case is, or he doesn't have range. But you can sneak this move in there in the neutral. As you can see, it's pretty fast. It comes out like in 15 frames. So the second hit does. So it's from the first frame. I'm sorry, from the first punch. So it's probably my best one, and it also leads to the restand. Or you can check them thinking that maybe they're gonna, if they don't jump, now your crushing blow is loaded. Boom. Right? So for example, I hit him with this. Hit him with the knee, right? Got the crushing blow. Grab. Look. Boom. That was 280 damage. Now we're plus 330 damage. There's a reset. And I mean, that's probably the coolest thing ever. And then if you have a read that they're gonna jump, air grab them, reset the damage. It's a scary mix-up actually to be on the other end of, for sure. So probably 1-2-1, probably the best one for sure.
So let's talk about an area where this guy, historically he kind of struggles. Let's talk about his neutral game. How do you approach Terminator's neutral game in general? What's your way around this kind of weak point for him? How do you make it work for you?
I think the best way for me to really make it work is, I mean, I don't know if you know, but I really started playing competitively like in 2012, like at the end of 2011, more 2012. Moved to Vegas. That's why I moved to Vegas. And long story short, I'm just gonna cut it short for you. We came up with a thing called Vegas Patience. I don't know if you've seen DJT versus Rio at Evo Grand Finals. I think it was like 2013, one of those. And DJT was playing Cyrax, and Rio, of course, infamously playing Cabal, of course, MK9. And DJT was just walking in and blocking, walking and blocking, walking and blocking. And that's the thing that we made up, is just be patient, just walk, just block. Don't worry about dashing in or getting close. Don't stress it. You're gonna get them to the corner, then they're gonna be forced to play footsies, right? And that I always kept that with me ever since like those days. So not being a stranger to having to get in, and also having the opportunities with the mechanics like flawless blocking is kind of a good thing, because then you're not taking any chip damage. So if you're pretty good at flawless blocking, can walk and block your way in, and then when you're playing your footsies, you know, you can kind of react and do what you want to do, you know, with him. But the cool thing is he can instantly run and tackle you instant like that. Now he's like plus a million. Now you have to guess. So I kind of think of him as an NRS version of Zangief, but he has a run and a shotgun, and he can 50-50 you, you know, overhead and low on top of a command grab. So that's how I kind of see things, even when I'm at a disadvantage.
How does the shotgun come into play for you in neutral? Do you use that as a neutral tool at all? Because that's an instant hit scan, right?
Yeah, instant. Once it goes out, it's there. Yeah, I want to say I do use it. There are some characters that can punish it. Like if I just throw it out from like this range, or like maybe even like this range, I can, like Liu Kang can punish this with a flying kick. You know, what? And I'm fucking, you know, crushing blow and I'm dead. Ooh, sorry. So I still use it, even though I know I can be punished for it. I still use it because I have to put that respect out there. I have to check them. I don't know if they're gonna check me every single time, right? And the cool thing is that there's actually a mix-up with it. Like, say they did a block pressure and they leave me at like distance like this, and they want to, like, you know, preemptively throw out a string to think I'm gonna run and do something. I can check them with this, right? But then when I see that they block it, and the next time they do that string, there's the mix-up. You know what I mean? So it does have good properties to a mix-up in it. What's the move? So let's do that, yeah. So I just kind of play around it, and just around it, especially when they have when they outrange him. So I kind of gotta play their game sometimes. But once I'm in, I gotta just take advantage of it. He hits hard, so he makes up for everything. I guess the best way to really explain it, think of him as Zangief in an NRS game. That's exactly who he is. He has the Russia Sky fake out, thinking you're gonna jump. You know, thinking you're gonna jump. Air grab, you're dead. See? You're dead. Crushing low loaded, you're dead. So that's how I want people to really understand his gameplay. He's a Mortal Kombat version of Zangief.
Okay.
He's more broken.
That's Terminator's weaker point. Now, let's talk about one of his stronger points, Terminator's pressure and mix-up. So, this is a grappler character who has a couple fast moves. He has, you know, his low highs going on. What do you put out there to, like, excel in the pressure game with Terminator?
Down 4 is everything. Down 4 is everything. Pre-patch, it was like only plus 13. So a lot of characters would simply backdash it, right? See, look at that range. They could just backdash, punish. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So they buffed it. Now it's plus 16, so that's a good thing. But you want to have down 4 as your base play, because once they start respecting that, you open up the grab. You know what I mean? Once they start doing that, you can kind of mix them up with this, with the tackle, things like that. So you want to kind of use this for the most part, because that sometimes is going to whiff the boot, especially when you get them a couple times. It's going to whiff, especially with them moving. But sometimes it will hit. So you can't always guarantee it. Another thing is, like I said, 1-2, you can sneak it in there in the neutral. But this is what you want to do. And then once you're up close, you can do pretty much anything that you want. You have that respect. But the real strength is right here in the shotgun, getting your restands into the shotgun. So kind of like how I explained earlier, you get that crushing blow, get them with that, boom, boom. That's 364 damage. Now you're plus 16. Now you're plus 16. Now they have to guess. It's an overhead into a command grab. So think about it. 360 damage plus 178. That's already like 53% damage. Like, just like that, easy money. Same thing. After you get them with the shotgun, you can hit them with another string. You think that they're gonna press buttons. Now they just got hit for 40% because they wanted to not block. Now they're reset again for another one. You hit them with the overhead 91. Same thing. This is just what he's really strong at. And at first, I have to be honest with you, I wasn't too happy with the design choice of Terminator. I didn't think anything was really Terminator-esque. He runs, he tackles you, he looks away like he's scared, and he just like smashes your nuts. I mean, I get it, it's a Mortal Kombat thing, it's comical. There's a lot of things I just didn't really think that were really Terminators. But if you think about it, the way they designed them, 50-50s, a run, a command grab, you don't want this character near you, right? It can't be reasoned with, it can't be bargained with, you can't stop it. Once the character's in your face, that real fear is instilled in your opponent. So that was actually a good design concept, philosophy on the character. So I always thought that was pretty cool.
Let's talk about the actual buttons you use when you get your restand, you're plus 16, you're in their face. I'm gonna mess up the notations. Is it between forward 3, forward 2, and then command grab as another option? Is that basically like your 3-way mix right there?
3-way mix, and you can also strike.
Do you care which one you get? Like, do you have one that you prefer over the other ones, just for damage output or anything?
Definitely forward 3 is like the coolest because I think he has one of the coolest combos. It's a little hard to hit on the female hitbox, but I'll try it. I already hit it a couple times. But you hit the forward 3-2, air grab like that, forward 3-2 again, and then the down 1 command grab. You can't do it on the women hitboxes because it's weird, but it hits like for 330 damage on all the other characters, and God, it's so beautiful. It's just something about restanding like that, and chinning your combo. Let me do it here. It'll probably work over here. This how it will look mid-screen. 334 damage. So if I just hit you for 20%, boom, boom, boom. Now you're in the corner. There it is, 360 damage. So that's 560 damage just from one restand.
Jeez.
And you don't have so I think that's my favorite for sure. But the command grabs are sometimes almost guaranteed because no one wants to get hit with 4-2. No one wants to get hit with 4-3. No one wants to get hit with another restand. So the command grabs are usually the best. You get more mileage out of them for sure.
You're blowing my mind with some of these air grab links. I've never seen any of these.
Yeah, man. They're actually they're pretty good. You can't, you can never really go wrong with them.
Off forward 3-2 is definitely the one that I'm most like jaw dropped at. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean it's the coolest thing, right? It's just and that's the thing. I felt like this game kind of lacked creativity, but there were a few characters that did have it right out the gate, and Terminator fortunately was one of them.
Does he have any primary things that you have to be conscious of the opponent flawless blocking when you've got your pressure going? Like, are you looking out for spots where they can get away?
Something I have to be worried about from them, or
something like if you're throwing a string out, something that they would flawless block and then punish you for.
Oh yeah. Not necessarily, because I'm gonna show you something that's really cool. The only thing I'm scared of being flawless blocked on is just your typical, down 1 flawless block, my follow-up move or something like that. That's about it. That and to another to a 4-4 or something. But everything else he has, it jails, which is pretty cool. And I'm gonna show you. I don't know if you knew this. I'm sure you knew about it, but I'm gonna break down the actual semantics of what really makes him dangerous on block, right? Because you can't do the restand from that, right? They're blocking, right? So I'm gonna switch to Devore. I'm gonna give you an idea on how dangerous he is on block as well. So this string right here, -5 on block leads to the restand, right? But when you're blocking it, you can do that, right? You can check them out with that. But when you're blocking this one, you can't poke it. It jails. So this is a true, I want to say, block string into a command grab. So you can't flawless block it, can't duck it. You have to jump it, right? To punish. He has many strings like this. Same with forward 4. Check it with the strike. You can't jump. You can't flawless block. Now I'll switch it to the grab. Can't poke it. Can't flawless block it. Can't duck it. You have to jump it. So that opens up a lot for what you can kind of think. So he has the cool mix-ups with this too. So he has the run, right? Then he can also do 1-2 low to check you because you might be wanting to jump. Now you're an Oki. You know what I mean? So he also has that with standing 4 as well. And back 3-1 isn't true. You can I think if you have a 6-framer, you can beat it. And I think a 7-frame might trade. And you can flawless block their kick. But it's still good actually because it leads into that Superman punch. Right here. So that will check them if they want to jump or press a button. Now they're going full screen for a roll. So these are what really make him dangerous, especially on block. You can't. It makes him just as dangerous on block and just as dangerous on block on hit as well.
Dude, that is terrifying. That's so like matchup based knowledge. Like, you know, you're not thinking about that. No other character in this game has this kind of tool where like you have to be ready to jump out on a moment's notice like that. Like, you know, there's obviously other things you should be looking to jump out of, but like, you know, and then this threat is there. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they're gonna jump. So, oh, he's gonna run tackle. Nope, not gonna work. No, like this, just like this. Jesus. Then you catch him. Catch him. You know what I mean? You can stagger. Maybe they'll just jump anyways. Catch him.
There's
like
the down
that.
3. I was waiting for the down 3 at some
There
point.
it is. Now this forward leaves you at plus 18. If I'm correct, is it plus 18 or 16? Plus 18 if you can see hit advantage. Plus 18. So if you don't want to spend another bar, you can get him like that. So say I hit him. Hit him with the crushing blow. Forward 4 into the mix. Look how much damage they just lost. Half their life, 1 touch. I wanted to show you one thing real quick in the corner. This is a very important combo that if people are interested in playing the Terminator, they have to learn this combo. When you're hitting someone in the corner, you want to get this. This is like a 280 damage restand. There it is. So you hit them with that, and now you're at the restand plus 13, right? So after that, after this shotgun, it's plus 13. You get a command grab, strike, and and they can poke that, the overhead, because it's only plus 13. If not, it trades at most times, but it gets you another restand. So if I hit him with that, right? I just did 280 damage plus 16. So like their health depletes as well. So these are definitely combos you're gonna want to definitely learn. And especially for the crushing blow, you want to get that one too. Like that. And then get that to like 40, 380. So these are the combos you're gonna want to learn.
God, man. Yeah, I just don't want this character anywhere near
Nowhere.
me.
Exactly.
Anywhere
Nowhere
near me. Good lord. And you can reset it and just keep it coming. Man, that's scary.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. I will show you that teleport stuff I was talking about. Okay. So as you can see, you already got the restand, right? You can't do anything like that. So I'm gonna put the characters back at the middle, and then I'm going to switch to Devora. So I'm gonna put him on record. So I'm gonna try and poke. You can't poke. Can't down 2.
Is that just 1-2-1 teleport? That's it?
That's it. 1-2-1 teleport on hit. So like, say I hit him with this, right? This was my last bar, and then they didn't block. Now I got them with the grab. Now they're crushing blow. Now they're fucking, they're dead.
And you can cancel into teleport after the end of the string, or do you have to like commit to that early on? Like, how hit confirmable is it?
You can hit it anywhere, anywhere you want. You can cancel it. But when you're doing these strings, it's probably best to do that. It works off of this one. It works off of back 3-2, and that one is probably the best way to get them out. So it opens up another meta of restand, right? But you have a meter burning, so
Man,
they're actually really good. You can set yourself up for another one. And yeah, that's it. That's the damage. Yeah. So it's another meta of a restand. It's another actual restand that you get on hit that leaves you at plus frames.
man, and that is a bleeding character. Good lord, that's wild.
Yeah, it is. It is. It really is. There it is. Boom, baby.
Jeez.
Teleport combo. Yeah.
53% gone.
Yeah, it's sick, man. It's sick.
Alright, so we've seen the beauty of the restand with Terminator. The pressure just flows when you get your restands going. And he's gone. but sometimes, you get a knockdown. What does Terminator do when it's his turn for Oki? How is he with dealing with opponent wake-ups?
Well, see, that's the thing. I think with MK11, the thing about that is it's a little tricky because MK11 kind of engages in a false Oki promise. I think that's just how MK11 has always been, especially pre-patch with having like 8 wake-up systems, with the wake-up buttons being the best option. Wake-up buttons is still a thing in this game. There's not as much wake-ups now post-patch, but the characters do get up faster. So, I mean, it is easier to get your kill frame off and then, go for the meaty. However, it's still a little tricky. But if you want to think of it like that, how it is like a traditional fighting game, you got your Oki, then the kill frames is gonna be your best friend for sure. So like if I set somebody down with this and I think they're gonna do like a long delay, I do a quick dash, I put the block and then I throw over the overhead. It's a guaranteed hit. Not a hit if they guess wrong, of course, but it's a guaranteed block string pressure move. If I think they're not going to, if I think they're not, and I think they're just gonna get up real quick, I'm gonna just hit them with that. So if I hit them with this, I think they're gonna get up quick. I'll just go straight into it. Hit them with the meaty back 10 frames. But if I want to respect it, if I don't want to push, I just want to check them with down 4. If it hits, I get the advantage. Then I set them up for Oki again. Some little things like that. So I think down 4 is always going to be your best friend. No matter what. Always will be your best friend.
Yeah, that range is huge.
It is. It's really good. It's really good.
Does he have a reliable punish for wake-up buttons?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it sets you up into another restand. So if I had her set up on wake-up buttons, let's just say, for example, I knocked her down, right? She woke up buttons, I made the read. Here's a restand. Now we're into a mix. That just did 320 damage because they pressed buttons. Look at the life they lost just from pressing buttons on Wake Up. So now I'm realistically like with one crushing blow, I'm one touch killed right now.
Man, that's terrifying. That's a word that's coming up a lot in this one, but just facts. This character's scary.
Yeah, he is. The thing I want to touch on is like for people who are gonna hear this and you are interested in playing MK11, take it with a grain of salt. Honestly, play it for fun. When it comes to the Oki system, because there's gonna be a lot of times where you will just get robbed in plain broad daylight. When things are supposed to work out for you and they didn't, it's because of the mechanical systems that they implemented in the game. So just take it with a grain of salt and try and time your media, bro.
All right, so let's talk about Terminator when the shoe is on the other foot. So, you know, it's nice when you get to put the pressure on all the time, but that's not always how it goes. Sometimes you gotta block, you gotta deal with opponents. You know, what are some of his tools that you use when you're on the defensive with Terminator? What are some good challenge buttons? What does he have built into his kit that you can use defensively? You know, what do you got going on there?
I want to say, let's just go right back to it. Down four is going to be your best friend no matter what, even defensively. I know I said you could throw this move out, you know, in the neutral and whatnot. It is good defensively, but when the pressure's on you, I mean, besides your traditional like down 1 and 1, it's 6 frames. It's really good. It's a little stubby, but you can make it work. But I think down 4 is always going to be your best friend. Always going to be your best friend, because once you hit that down 4, you're going to get your pressure on. Now it's your turn to play ball again. That's it. And that's what she wrote. That's all she wrote. But also I would like to say, since this game does allow a lot of jumping and whatnot, definitely I would have with the other variation, with the Who's Your Daddy Dark Fate variation. That would probably be the best, because then you get a restand into more damage, into, you know, possible resetted damage. So, but down 4 is probably going to be your best guy. I mean, playing defensively or after they ended the string, especially with flawless block being the thing when you're playing against top tier level players, you kind of want to check them real quick with a down 4 just to see where they're at. And then when it's kind of like your turn on the defensive, you can notice if they want to block, say they want to stagger that, and I'll block again. I want to hit them with a back 3. It's my mid, it's 10 frames. It checks them from poking me from my high. Let me see if they do this. See, and I do a standing 1. Well, she didn't do it, so let me just show you an example. Sorry. So I went for a hide and I got poked, even though she was negative, and it was my turn. So you want to make sure you check with these mids. You know what I mean? You want to check with the mids. There it is. You know what I mean? Now
Right.
It's your turn to play. So those are the parts, like in those situations when I know I can get my mid off, I won't really do a down 4, because the down 4 does push them back regardless. I'm going to make sure that my mid, you know, checks them first, just to see what they do. Then that opens up me. Once they see that they can't press a button, I'll hit them with an overhead instead. So they want to do that instead, you know, and they want to block instead. That's when I know, okay, time to mix them up. There it is. You know, they respected the mid. They know it's not their turn, and that's it. So that will probably be your best. Your best bet is back 3 for sure. But when you see that they're flawless blocking your move, it's always good to check with a down 4, like for wait like a millisecond and then down 4. But But the crazy thing is, if you really want to show people something that's really cool, just block for a second, even though it's not your turn, and I know that's really foreign to people. People are gonna try and flawless block you after you move, right? So if you just wait, then you can punish them. You know what I mean?
Huh. Yeah, make them flinch, kinda.
Yeah, exactly, because they want to flawless block you and get their turn back. So if I poked, I would have got flawless block, but it works. Sometimes you just gotta freaking block, man. You just gotta block.
I like that. And this is the section where I do want to revisit down 3. So I realize this, you wouldn't necessarily be in pressure when this happens, but jump-ins are a common form of offense in Mortal Kombat, and his down 3 has some pretty great defensive properties for dealing with jump-ins. Yeah?
100%, yeah. Probably the first or second best normal anti-air in the game. So, I mean, this character, that's probably the number one thing I do love about this character, because especially coming from MK9, anti-airs were really prominent in that game. Like, if you jumped, like, you better hope you did a high jump kick to check your opponent from anti-airing you, or you just better pray to God that for some reason you didn't get anti-aired and they missed their time. Like, that's it. And that's what I love about this game, is it being jump heavy. You can't jump on the Terminator no matter what. It's this boot's always gonna check you no matter what. That was too early. And especially on you can see that I'm hitting her hand extension. Let me just show you a clear example.
So far away.
Yeah, it's that good. So there's no way. So like, if someone hits you with a down one, they want to jump over. They're not gonna. There's no way. You know what I mean?
God, I mean, it's just when you see how far out it connects, and like the character models are like feet apart, but there's just a little like red hit circle between them. Like, so nuts.
Yes, it's so good.
And honestly, the hit stun is mind-blowing too. I can't believe you can link Running Man into that.
Oh yeah, it's that good. It's that good.
Let's talk about his I guess this would be a system mechanic defense in this game, although it's not necessarily universal. But you know, every character in this game has a set of wake up buttons that you can spend your defensive bar on. How are his? When he gets knocked down, does he have the good options for waking up, or are they kind of subpar? Where do they fall?
Yeah, they're actually pretty good. His forward 3 goes pretty far. So if she were to do this, right? It has good hit stun. It has good distance. Watch, let me see. I could probably do like this. Then it sets you up for another reset. For another 50-50. So it's really good. If she were to do a jump in, that's gonna work out pretty good too. It's like 7 frames, I believe. So it's gonna definitely work out in his favor. So there are definitely some of the good ones. Some are definitely some of them are definitely not the bag of chips that you want. Some are more of like a bowl of rocks. You know, it's kind of irritating. But Terminator actually, fortunately, doesn't have to worry about that. So that's a good thing, especially when he gets outranged. Things like that. Set yourself up with strikes, you know, little things like that. See the range, she hits me from that far, but I can still check it. So he definitely has a good one.
I think last defensive thing I want to touch on. So, you know, we've touched on this a bit. I think it's pretty well known that Terminator in general struggles against more zoner characters like a Cetrion, a Scarlet, people like that.
Yeah.
But he does have built into his kit an actual defensive move, the one where he turns his back and he just eats projectiles. Do you find that to be like a useful move, or is it something that comes up for you much, or do you kind of stay away from it, and, you know, why or why not?
I definitely do. When I know that I can, you know, like if I want to just walk in and block and whatever, and flawless block, it's probably the best thing to do because you're getting in. But if you just don't want to take any damage, you want to bait some stuff. Like for example, like Liu Kang. If I want to bait Liu Kang's fireballs, and you know, I'm just, you know, eating his meter, I'm not taking any damage. I'm like, okay, he's gonna flying kick me. Let me bait it real quick, and then let me block he flying kicks. So there's a good like meta in it sometimes, like for certain situations. But sometimes I just use it because it's just cool looking. It's from the movie, but I don't use it all the time.
Let them know you don't care about their projectiles.
But, like, I don't care. I'm about to walk in, you know. But of course, you leave yourself vulnerable. But I think it's really good to bait your opponent to come in closer because they're like, well, my projectiles can't do damage, so maybe I'll just go in and hit him real quick since I outrange him, whatever the case may be. But speaking of defensive options, that's where the teleport comes into play. His tough matchups where characters can zone him and keep him out. See, here's the thing, you know, what I said earlier, initially when we first started, that, you know, the whole Vegas thing was walk and block, you know, Vegas patience, right? Walk and block, walk and block. So I would do that, but there's characters like you said, like Cetrion or like Scarlet, like Raiden. These characters can teleport to the other side of the screen, you know, once I get into the corner and I want to play footsies, right? And that makes it really irritating playing this variation of Terminator because now I got to chase them again. Then I got to take more risks. I'm running and tackling, and then I might miss. Now they're going to punish me. Now I just took more damage. So that's where the teleport really comes into play. And at first I was thinking like maybe I should pick up a secondary, you know, and I do have many secondaries I can use. But I was like, you know, a secondary to really help me out for those matches, those matchups. But now that there's a teleport, I'm fucking Skynet to Raiden. You know what I mean? So, you know, model, you know, MK11. You know what I mean? So I don't have to worry about that now when I have a teleport. So now I have to make them actually think about the consequences that can happen when they do try and zone me. And I love that feeling. I'm fucking Raiden, man. Like I'm Raiden, and I'm an unstoppable machine. Like, what are you? It's crazy, man. It's that crazy, and I think that's why I love that the customs came into play, and Terminator was clearly one of those winners of the custom matchups.
Yeah, it's nice that it's not a 2-slotter either.
I'm sorry?
I said it's nice that it's not a 2-slot move either. Like, I feel like it really easily could have been the teleport.
Oh yeah, because it's really good, man. It's really good. Like, say if I was like, okay, so, you know, there it is. Like, there's the move, and it's so good. It's so good. And if I think they think they're gonna like punish me, I'll shortly delay it, and I'll punish. You know, or you can delay it however long you want. Like, say I think she's gonna jump again, I can just catch her. Like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can just hide in your pocket dimension until you're ready.
Yeah, exactly. If I think they think I'm gonna do run tackle, I can check them and then catch them with it.
It's so fast for like how big of an animation it is too.
Yeah, it is. It really is. So I'm glad that came into play. It's like 4 seconds, man. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like 4 seconds.
He's just gone, dude. I love it. He's just gone. He's got other places to be.
Right. Just imagine you have the life lead. You're playing against Cetrion. There's 15 seconds left. You just hit her. You have the life lead. We wait till it gets to 10. You have both your bars. She's trying to come at you. You hit her, right? You hit her with a down forward. There's 10 seconds of going down. Right? Okay, that's weird. And then you go back. Right? You go back. Now, there goes the time. Like, you won. Just like that alone. And I think that's so cool. It's so cool to have.
Dab, if someone came to you tomorrow, said, Dab, I'm on the fence about playing Terminator. I think he's pretty cool, but I don't know if I'm down for it. What would you tell them to push them over the fence? Why should someone pick up Terminator in Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate?
I think it's one chance in a lifetime to actually play as the Terminator. There's no other video games that have the Terminator in a fighting game that's as modern and as new as this. I mean, it does suck they don't have a lot of the costumes. You know, the Terminator 1, Terminator 2, probably a lot of copyright licensing things. But I said it's a once in a lifetime to play the governor in a damn video game. The Terminator T800 endoskeleton, like what? Are you kidding me? Titanium alloy, cybernetically designed enhanced machine. You kidding me? A killing machine? I would say that he's probably one of the most creative characters in the game. Now that customs are unlockable and they're viable, you shouldn't have that much of a problem once you master the character. So I would push them over the edge, saying this is your one chance in a lifetime to use the Terminator in a fighting game, and he is very creative with a lot of the moves and block strings and combos that he has as a character.
I love it, dude. I love your passion for not just the build of the character from a coding design sense, but also your passion for Arnold as a human. It is just so badass that you get to run this guy who you're clearly a fan of and wreck people in the process with all these insane combos. Dude, jeez, I just can't get over these.
Thanks, man. Yeah, there's something about it, man. There's something about the character, man.
Well, thanks for taking the time today, Dab. Appreciate you coming by and giving us a scoop on how Terminator works. And we'll be sure to throw your Twitch link, your YouTube link, all the good stuff in the description below. And yeah, man, that's all I got for you. So we'll see you next time.
All right, Pinto. Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man.